From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade. Well, a champion of clean energy and environmental protections will manage millions of acres of public land here in Montana as she breaks barriers in Washington. President-elect Joe Biden makes history with his choice to lead the Department of Interior. If confirmed by the Senate, the New Mexico Representative Deb Haaland would be the first Native American cabinet secretary. Now, the Interior Department manages the nation's natural resources and oversees the federal government's relationships with Native American tribes. Now, Biden is busy making his final cabinet choices from his headquarters in Wilmington, Delaware. And that is where we find reporter Michael George, who joins us for more on the Interior choice. Michael, thanks for joining us tonight. Now, Deb Haaland.
Thank you.
What do you think made her the choice?
Well, Jeanelle, Deb Haaland hasn't been a congresswoman for very long, less than 2 years, but she's long made her opinions known. She's an advocate for environmental reform. She's worked to improve the relationship between the U.S. government and tribal leaders. So her selection, which has been supported by tribal leaders and climate activists, tells us that the Biden administration really wants to take the Interior Department in a new direction and focus more on those issues.
Now, Haaland is one of several officials who will lead the country's work on environmental issues. What kind of challenges and changes is she going to be part of?
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle because she's taking control of a department that under President Trump is really focused on the oil and natural gas industry and protecting their interests, as well as rolling back environmental regulations. And it's often clashed with tribal leaders. So under Deb Haaland, she stands in opposition to all of those things. We can expect a very different Interior Department.
All right, and part of that different Interior Department, now Biden's cabinet is full of diversity. How do you think this mix of voices will resonate with the American people?
Well, the president-elect has said from the beginning that he wants a cabinet that looks like America. So he's been very open about the fact that he wants the most diverse cabinet in history, the most women ever in a cabinet, the most people of color in a cabinet. Again, a very stark contrast from the Trump administration, which had the least diverse cabinet since the Reagan administration. But these are the priorities that we're starting to see take shape in this new administration.
All right, thanks so much. Michael George live from Wilmington, Delaware tonight. Well, the 5-person panel that will draw new legislative district boundaries in Montana has a new chairperson, but it still isn't even known if Montana will get a new congressional district next year. The Montana Supreme Court this week appointed former law professor and Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribal attorney May Lynn Smith. She'll take the place of former University of Montana President Sheila Stearns, who resigned for personal health reasons. The Districting and Appointment Commission has 5 members, those 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats, and the chair. GOP members this week criticized the selection of Smith, saying she has a background of donating to Democratic candidates. But Democratic Commissioner member Kendra Miller noted that GOP members haven't even met Smith and said she has a solid reputation in the legal community. Miller also says census results determining whether Montana gets another congressional district may not be submitted until late January. Now, the commission redraws Montana legislative district boundaries every 10 years to reflect population changes from the census. Well, the YWCA receives a major grant to help house local women and children who are victims of domestic violence. Mackenzie Scott, the former wife of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, has given $1 million to the YWCA Billings. Scott's advisors look at nearly 6,500 organizations and donated more than $4.1 billion in gifts to nearly 400 of those. Now, the money coming to Billings will go toward a $3 million building with 24 studio apartments. The YWCA already has the Gateway Shelter and the Gateway Apartments. The new building will go up on a piece of land just next to those buildings.
This is one of the most amazing things that's happened in my entire career. And it certainly is a precedent situation here at YWCA. We've never received a gift that large, and it was like it just dropped out of the heavens right when we needed it. We get up every day here so excited because we can make a difference.
And Mary Lee Olson says the YWCA will work on raising another $2 million, and construction is set to start in the spring of 2021. Well, as of tonight, Montana health officials report another 8 deaths related to COVID-19. That increase just since last night brings a statewide total to 890 victims. The latest death in Bighorn County marks the 59th there. There are also new deaths to report in Dawson, Sheridan, Yellowstone, Lewis and Clark, Ravalli, and Hill counties. As the COVID-19 vaccine rolls out across the country, a survey is seeking to get input from Native Americans. Now, that survey was created by the Urban Indian Health Institute in Seattle, Washington. The Native Americans and Alaska Natives across the country are encouraged to fill it out by December 30th. Now, the survey asks questions about your knowledge, attitudes, and beliefs toward the vaccine. Now, the results will be used to create a national campaign.
We will be compiling resources about the COVID vaccines, so things such as videos, flyers, and posters, so that we make sure Native people have the best and accurate information available to them.
We have been getting about 100 responses today, but I would like it to be 1,000 responses today. And we are offering great raffles and prizes right before the holidays to encourage people to do that.
Now, a link to that survey can be found in this story on our website, ktvq.com. Well, many holiday traditions are going by the wayside this year, but one local ballet company is making sure fans get a chance to see their favorite show. Q2's Casey Conlon has details in our latest Rebound Montana story.
We all know the music, know the moves, know that Christmas isn't quite Christmas without the Nutcracker. But COVID has brought live theater to a screeching halt. The Alberta Bear can't host its customary Nutcracker performances, so Billings School for Classical Ballet is stepping in with 4 live online shows this weekend on this makeshift studio stage at the Montana Dance Center.
We're really lucky that we have this really big room. It's really comfortable. We're very familiar with it. We already know the floor. We don't have the grandeur of a theater and all the fun that comes with that. But this is also a pretty darn good alternative.
Everybody wants it to be a success. So if you see anything not going well, people are willing to step in and fill holes and help someone with their hair or whatever. You know, it's just, so I know it's going to be a success just because the show must go on.
Shan Fine, who recently relocated to Billings after a professional career in New York City, even recruited 2 NYC friends to help, Niall Baker and Kyle Gary.
They've been great. And I think it's really fun for the children here to see male dancers more regularly.
It'll look a little different than diehard fans are used to. Wardell and Shan Fine have had to change choreography in a number of scenes to conform with COVID protocols, which the company takes very seriously.
That's been an added challenge with this year doing the Nutcracker because I've never had to perform in a mask where these girls are.
We're separating all the kids in the 4 different studios. So once they're on stage, they're taken back to their area and we'll stay in that area so that there's not too many people in a room.
But at its essence, this will still be the Nutcracker, a ballet that still holds a special place in every dancer's heart.
For whatever reason, it just persists. And kids who have never seen it before automatically love it. And the ones who've done it all growing up through school, they still love it. There's just something about it.
And it will likely mean more this year, when so much of normal life has been taken away, than ever.
It's huge, really huge. They didn't get to do recital. I'm getting teary-eyed. They didn't get to do recital. Children love to perform, and in a dancer's life, it's not really long, your opportunity to continue dancing. So the Nutcracker is a big deal to a lot of people.
Thus, the show will go on. Casey Conlon, MTN News.
Nice. Thanks so much, Casey. Now, the performances are scheduled for tomorrow and Saturday nights, as well as a Saturday and Sunday matinee. Ticket prices range from $30 for a single live stream to $60 for a large family gathering. You can purchase them at scbbillings.com, and the link will be emailed to you after purchasing. Well, up next on tonight's MTN 530 News on Q2, spreading holiday cheer. A Montana teacher's Christmas video has gone viral, surprising even himself. That story next. And in sports, testing the memory bank, Scott looks back at his favorite sports memories from the past 3 decades.
And coming up in weather, guess what? Looking for some decreasing clouds in the Billings area tonight. Then after that, looks like it's going to be dry but windy on Friday through Sunday. And how about some snow? Well, that's going to make a return next week. We'll tell you all about it coming up in just a few more minutes.